I'm going to show you how to time the engine of a 7.3 IDI in a van. You're going to need a few tools, 3/4 inch wrench to hold onto the IP, turnbuckle. Mac has a bigger turnbuckle off of his video, and I kind of made the smaller one because I don't have a lot of room, and this gives me a finer thread, and then a 9/16 inch wrench, and then a modified 9/16 inch. And the key to this thing is to have this thin so that it fits between the IP and the threads. It's hard to access anything in the van, so you're going to get at one of the nuts from the back side and two of them from the front. Go to the back side and show you what I mean. So over here, it's hard to see. There it is. So you gotta reach in there and undo it. That's what the other wrench is for. So here are our tools, and we're gonna hook this end on the on this nib right here, that guy, and the other end is gonna go to the end of this socket wrench. Okay, on the IP, it's hard to see here, but there's a box right there, and that's where the wrench is going to go on. Kind of like this. A little bit. So that goes on there like that. It's hard to see, but it's on that box in front of the injector pump. And then you want to hang this guy on that nib and connect this thing all the way across, but I'm going to do that off camera. Alright, so now I have the turnbuckle in place. See, it's hooked to that Schrader valve bib there, and then this socket is there. I kind of use the heater core lines as a guide, kind of see how far I'm going. As much as a 1/2 inch at the top of this socket can be 10 degrees, so you gotta be very precise. The thing that sucks about the van is the heater core lines up here are hot, so be careful. And they're hot here, and everything's hot, just everything's hot. But now that it's tight in place, turning it away from me retards the engine, and then pulling it this way advances. So if I want it to turn this way, it retards the engine. Alright. Driver's side, retard. Passenger side, advance. You want to undo your throttle linkage. Reach in there, get that out of there. It just snaps off this. Otherwise you just can't get your hand in there. So now I got enough room to stick my hand in. And what I'm trying to do is get to that nut. Can't do this and show you at the same time. Okay, so that side is loose. Alright, like that. Pick up your other 9/16, and you're going to want to reach in front of your IP, weasel through all the stuff. Careful to knock out your 3/4 inch wrench that's holding your IP in place. And down here, it's hard to see, but down here is a socket. Down here is a nut, and you want to get that one undone. So I'm just gonna loosen it up here, and then turn it around. Just get it loosey-goosey. The last one is pretty hard to get at, so I'm gonna hold a mirror here so you can possibly see it. You can possibly see it here. So there's the top one. I already unloosened that one up. The bottom one's right there, and unfortunately it's really a pain to get to. So you have to use a combination of the special 9/16 and then also regular 9/16 wrench to get that guy out. Okay, so I've already loosened up all the screws. If I want to retard the engine about a degree, I'm just going to tighten it, which means turning it toward the driver's side. And I'm just going to move it in. I'm looking at this mark here, see how far it goes. I'm going to say about 1/16 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch inward. That's probably pretty good. Let's go test it out. Okay, so now I can re-tighten my nuts back down. So the easiest one to get to is on top. So I'm going to tighten that one first, just so that if my wrench slips off, I'll be able to at least hold it on one nut. Same goes for the other side, the driver's side one. The last one, we're going to use the bent tool from the inside. There it is. That one. It's easy to get it from the back. It's in. Don't forget to put your throttle stuff back together. Okay, that snaps on there. Those things just slide back on. There we go. That's back on. Okay, you're done. Here's the pulse ferret meter. If you don't know how to use it, look at Mac's video. My van has a Hypermax turbo on it. That's the Hypermax air intake filter over there, and it covers everything for number 4 injector line, so there's no way I'm going to get to it. There's the fuel filter head. Well, this is tightened down now, so I can just undo this. So yeah, and Hypermax has this crazy little plate here at the bottom. It's hard to see. It's this bluish plate. Okay. And that pushes the fuel filter even forward even more. And there's the glow plug relays behind the air compressor over there. So there's no way I'm getting to number 4. So over here you can see my pickup there. That's on my number 1 injector. Already pre-sanded and polished. Put on the ferret meter. Okay, so there's the spade connector. Spade connector just goes on. So the spade connector is on there, and then alligator clip just goes on here. So there they are. Connect your clamp. Okay, so they're done. Ferret meter, the gun should read 00 because nothing's running yet. Okay, if you don't know how to do timing, look at Mac's video, but just to reiterate, okay, so what we're looking down here is the little marker, and down there is the plate on the balancer, and mine doesn't have a mark on it, but yours should have a 0 and a dash mark right there, and the timing line on the balancer will synchronize, and it should line up with that, and you can use the advance on the gun to figure out where that is. I marked my timing line with whiteout, so it really pops. You want to have it about 2,000 RPMs, and it's going to get really loud, so I'm just going to do it. Okay, turn this off, waste the battery. Alright, so mine was about 3, which is right, because I turned it about 1/8 of an inch to the driver's side, and that's what I want to test out. You probably should not have yours at 3. I'm just doing different tests at different degrees to see what kind of performance I get. I think factory is 8. Anyway, that's my video. Thanks.